He's Tony. I'm my sweet six of the action bowl.
Week 6 of the Action Bowl, Scott Adkins drew Savage Dog, and Tom Hardy drew The Deserter, also known as something of honor or something like that.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Look it up yourself.
Who are we going to talk about first?
Let's get this out of the way. Let's talk about Savage Dog. Gosh.
I kind of loved this film. I'm just gonna say this. I have never watched a Scott Adkins film ever. I had, other than the fact that he's done like just a shit ton of action films. I had no idea what it was whatsoever. And then I turn on Savage Dog, and I have to admit, it starts with the voiceover of Keith David, whose gravelly, silky smoothness is just I loved him like a son.
A man who, when pushed far enough, retaliated. How he faced down an army and spilled a river of blood. I knew the man, and for a while, I loved him like a son.
And I'm like, I'm sold. And then I watched Scott Adkins mercilessly beat the shit out of people for the next 25 minutes or so. And then finally, we find out that he's been in jail for 3 years on a 6-month sentence, and British intelligence is looking for him, and so he's like going to go hide out with the locals, and he gets a job as a bouncer at a local bar, which is basically a garden shed with a jukebox.
Baron Valentine, certainly more. Mary, certainly more.
And he gets offered a job to go fight people, but now he can actually make some real money.
Why don't you come back and fight for us? Steiner had the British agents sent north, so you can make some money. Life can be good.
He can win on his own, and he beats the crap out of everybody. And most action films would stop there, but not Savage Dong. Savage Dong continues to unzip. And then they're like, no. See, he's such a winner that like no one wants to bet on him anymore.
No one is betting against you, so the odds are no longer worthwhile.
So he's going to throw a fight. He agrees to throw a fight so that he can earn some real money so that he can get out of Vietnam and go to America.
So,
You want me to lose the fight?
well, that was easy.
And maybe, I don't know, be a prize fighter there. And Keith David, who's his employer, bets everything on him.
How much did you gamble?
Now, don't you worry your pretty little head about it.
And loses. And so they show up to collect.
Okay, fellas. How'd I do?
You lost.
And it gets ugly, and Keith David winds up getting shot. But he continues to narrate because he's Keith David and fuck you. and Scott Adkins' girlfriend, she gets shot. But it just went right through her, so it's fine. And Scott Adkins got shot. And they buried him. But revenge, he just digs himself right on up out of there.
It's said the human is the hardest animal to kill.
then
It's called plot armor.
then
When you don't have body armor, you have plot armor instead.
then he goes on a one-man killing spree, and it's
No, it's not. Mwah. It's like, what kind of fucking garbage did I just watch, or eat, or consume? No, this movie is boring. This movie takes itself way too fucking seriously for what it is.
yes, absolutely.
Yes,
And I gotta be honest,
and it's awful for it. It's not good for it. It's bad for it.
thought that
This
was-
is Scott fucking Adkins. This was like silly bullshit fucking action films. This should be like the equivalent of like watching what the fuck's it? Who's the bald
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, yes, Van Damme. This should have been a Van Damme style movie. This should have been like fucking Bloodsport or Kickboxer or some crap like that.
This is Lionheart. French Foreign Legion, even.
But told with seriousness and try to take itself seriously. No, fuck you, movie.
I kind of
fuck
enjoyed
you.
it. I kind of enjoyed this. I will say this for all of its plot armor faults that you're not wrong to point out. But I will say that the action sequences, the fight scenes, look sufficiently brutal.
They do.
And they were really well shot. That
They
there,
are.
there was, there was slow motion, but it was slow motion so you could see actually how good it is. Not like Miles O'Keefe fighting a snake, where they were trying to save it in the edit. Like legitimately, it was to show off Scott Adkins' skill, and his skill is pretty incredible. No bullshit on that one. He is a very gifted stunt person. You can tell he's the guy doing all of it. He doesn't have a body double coming in and doing anything.
Funny enough, the best fight scene in this was the one at the end with him and the Asian guy.
The Vietnamese colonel.
Yeah.
Yes, in the
Yeah.
office.
That was brutal.
Yes.
That was the highlight of this movie.
You're not wrong. I'm also going to say that the gun violence in the film. I enjoyed the machete fight in the bar as well. When he goes over and he pours himself a drink and he says, either I'm going to kill him if you guys say I'm killing everyone. And they're all like, oh, he's a tough guy.
I'm gonna kill you. And if your men try to stop me, I'll fucking kill them too.
And then, no, he just kills everyone. Yeah. I thought that action sequence was actually really well done. That was the one that had me going, yeah! And I was on board at that point. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Is it cheap theatrics? Yes.
Yeah.
Did I fall for it? Absolutely.
Yes,
I can admit that to myself. I am a flawed human being. And Savage Dog delivered for me. I was, after a mountain of like really boring action films, it was nice to actually see an action film that actually had action in it.
Yes, this did have plenty of action, and it was nice to see some action in an action movie, but the problem is it wanted to be more drama than fucking action for some reason. And the British fucking agent guy, why are you even in this damn movie? So it doesn't do anything in the fucking end. It doesn't add anything to the fucking story.
The only thing that it did for him, it gave you a background on Scott Adkins' character, who his father and brother were in the IRA, and he helped.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but he does wind up actually going to work for British intelligence at the end of the film. It's either that or he's got to go to jail, because he's being thrown out of the country because he's killed an entire village.
I've been ordered to assemble a team of local operatives. Men with your skills are commodity, Tillman.
Yeah, so, this is absolutely not a recommend for me.
I kind of love this movie.
I fucking hated this movie. No.
So you're saying that there's going to be a radical difference in scores on this one.
Let's see, how much should I give it its due?
I'm guessing A 14.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
So the plot is there enough. Even with the plot armor, it's a 5. The style is a 5. There's nothing groundbreaking here. And I don't know why I gave it a 6 for entertainment, because looking back on it now, I would give all these scores, like I probably would have knocked it down to like a plot of 4, style of 4, and the entertainment of 3. But at the time, I must have been sufficiently entertained enough. It's a 16, so it wasn't brutal.
No, it wasn't. And actually, that's a slightly above average score. So I don't feel so bad. I'm going to tell you right now.
And this is a 25. I'm going to slap you across the face.
It's not, but
Okay.
you're not too far off. For the plot, I gave it a 6. It's
serviceable.
It's serviceable, but I actually like the fact that they fleshed out all of the characters in it. It's not just Scott Adkins.
Did they?
Action here. They fleshed out the daughter, who Vladimir. He was a Nazi that fled Germany.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he
they did.
He was running the
They
prison
did.
there, and then he
Okay.
had a wife who cheated on him, and he would not claim his own daughter, and so that was a big character
That's
arc
right.
there.
That's right.
Yeah.
There should was some story to
Yeah,
this.
yeah, there was
That's
some,
right.
and it was interestingly interwoven into the film. It was not like an exponential, it was not a exposition dump
No.
that they dropped it all on you in a paragraph or a big monologue. No,
you're
you
right.
got bits and pieces
You're
throughout
right.
the film.
You're right.
For the style, I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. Wait, before you give me that look, I gave it a 9 because the action scenes in this, again, after all of these films, and probably because I watched Tarzan right before this, the action scenes were really, really good.
They're not 9. They're nowhere near a 9. They're nowhere near a 9.
I'm not
You're
saying-
fucking smoking dope.
No, I was drinking.
Holy shit.
I was drinking. So
Wow, how many fucking old fashions you have or whiskey sours?
And then for the
a 9?
I had to hammer through all these movies in a relatively short period of time. And then for the entertainment, I gave it an 8 because I was thoroughly entertained for the whole thing. So that I gave it a score of 23 on this one. You can see the look of disappointment on his face here. So that's it. That's it for Savage Dong. Stay tuned. So Tom Hardy joins the party, and he brought the dessert.
Good Lord. Terrible scores and terrible puns. I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
guys. But this is the Action Bowl. Where we watch shitty movies and we talk shit on them.
Yes, exactly. So now I will say this: I had never heard of this film. It
neither.
took some doing to track this one down. Turns out that this actually was originally released as Deserter, and then it was released again, and it was like Legion of Honor was the name of the film.
You leave for Algeria in the morning?
Now, this actually had a story to it.
It did have a story.
This had a very good,
Yes.
compelling story to it. There's not a lot of action in this film.
No.
But
and-
it's sporadic. But where there is action, it's appropriate. It's appropriately violent. It's
Yes.
appropriately graphic. It's appropriately gut-wrenching. There's a lot.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
To
There's
like
a-
about this movie.
yes.
Tom Hardy, though, is not the main star in this movie.
No, he is.
But he's
he
a
is the
great-
co-star.
Yes.
He is the sidekick to the main star on this one.
Thankfully, we could always count on Dupont to keep our spirits alive.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Marion.
But he's a very good
Oh,
side
he's a
character in
great
this movie.
sidekick. Yes,
Yeah.
he's. Let's put it like this: seeing that this is like Tom Hardy's first starring role, I think, in a feature. I think I may be
don't
wrong,
know.
but I think this was his first starring role in a feature. He delivered an incredibly nuanced performance.
What is your name?
And this basically follows a group of recruits as they enlist in the French Foreign Legion and you get to go through all of their basic training, and they're in Algeria, and basically it's an Arab area of Africa, but it's a French province at this time.
And this is the 1960s when this takes place, so it's right when they're trying to kick the French out.
Yes, and you have this like underground that's fighting for independence, and a lot of politics is going on.
But then you also have a French underground that's trying to keep it French also.
Yes.
So you have those two factions going on.
Yeah.
And then this is basically all the intrigue that happens where the French Foreign Legion sometimes plays for one side and sometimes plays against the other side.
Yes, they follow orders. That's what it really boils down to.
Yeah.
And as the winds blow and the orders come down, they do what they're told, and that's all there is to it.
I didn't sign up to kill Frenchmen.
Not French, they're traitors.
I really dug this movie.
Me too.
I'm gonna tell you flat out that I was thoroughly engaged, but its lack of action is kind of what kind of reduced the score for me on this
Same
one.
here. Yep.
And you're right that the giveaway that this was a small budget film, you don't actually see it until you get to the action sequences, because they have that big gunfight. And, they're dropping mortars on the Arab gunmen's position that are sniping away at them. And it just looks a little made for TV.
Take cover! Take cover! Get across the river! Across the river!
It's not quite up to feature film snuff on that one. It's not bad. It's not like, oh, what is that? What are they? Somebody throwing cherry bombs at them? It's just enough. If you watch enough movies, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the scope of the battles is very small.
Yeah.
It's basically what we're getting at here. It's like a squad of men that go out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So even when they go later in the film to occupy an airport, it's two
squads. Yeah, two
it's
squads of troops.
If you do not leave the premises now, we will remove you forcibly.
Yeah, 2-3 trucks of men, to occupy this space and take it over. So yeah.
This is a great script. It's a great story. It's an engaging story, but at the same time, this needed a larger budget than what it had, so that it could show it needed to be able to tell this in the scope that it should have been told in. I like the intimate nature of parts of this, but then when you have the big battle scenes, they should be big battle scenes.
Yeah, but I mean, for what they did, I was very impressed with.
Yeah. Do you know what this reminded me of? Jarhead.
What the fuck are you even doing here?
Sir! I got lost on the way to college, sir!
Because you get to see Jake Gyllenhaal's character go through boot camp.
Yeah.
He signs up for the military after he gets dumped by his girlfriend. And he goes through boot camp and all the bullshit that is boot camp and all the crap that you're not expecting that you have to put up with. And then they get sent off to Iraq for the Gulf War, and you follow his platoon all through that. And this struck me very much the same way that did.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. Yeah, for sure. But this, this has a more intimate story.
Yeah.
There's more camaraderie in this one.
Yes.
Even though it's revealed later that, some people are doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing in there. Which I do like that plot twist at the end.
That twist was really well handled.
Hook up, my Patricia!
Oh. Hello, Marie.
And the reveal on that one, I didn't see that one coming. I was kind of like, whoa, okay, yeah. And there's specifically two characters that turn out to be doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing. And if you pay real close attention earlier in the film, you'll see like the quick change. You see the girl and she's dressed as an Arab, and then she runs into the alleyway and throws her cloak off and comes out and she's wearing her beautiful blue dress and white shoes. And
but that was deliberately shown so you could see that, so you get that duality. But Tom Hardy's duality reveal at the end was beautiful. Was fucking beautiful.
Tom Hardy did a lot of lifting, but he didn't do the heavy lifting on this one. But he is a great support cast member on this one by all means.
Which one of us was hit? Look who fell to the ground.
I would highly recommend this film. If you're a Tom Hardy fan, go back. You can watch him as a puppy and be all like, damn, he had chops back then too, because he did. I don't quite know what else to say about this one. It's just, like I said, because this is the Action Bowl, that's the only thing that I want to say before we talk about our scores here. Because this is the Action Bowl, it did not deliver on the action the way I was wanting it. In every other regard, this is a fine film. So let's do the numbers. Let's just get it on.
Story's a 6. Thinking back on it, again, I wish I could have gave a 6.5 because it's still not quite a 7, but I think it's still better than a 6 though. But it's what I got. It's a 6. Style's a 5. There's nothing groundbreaking here, but there's nothing bad here either. It's a solid 5. Entertainment is a 6. Looking back on now, I probably would have changed this. I would have really, it's more like a 7 in entertainment. But the fact that there isn't as much action in here, I gotta score it accordingly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So it's a 6. So it's a total of 17. But with a couple of changes, this could easily be like a 19 or a 20.
So, well, wait, what did you score this? You scored it a 17? For the plot, I gave it a 6. Fine story. I mean, we've seen this kind of story told this way before. I mentioned Jarhead before, but there are others.
Oh, this is more complex than Jarhead, though.
A bit, definitely a bit, but it's
more than a bit.
It's a character study that you're following through their adventures in strange and foreign lands. Style 6. It's more than adequate. The training camp, the basic training stuff was, I think, by far the most engaging portion of this. And if they had stuck more to that style, this probably would have been even higher because they had the budget to do that. But like I said, when they do the big battle scenes, that's where this shows its lack of budget. There was one scene in here that I really enjoyed, and we didn't talk about it. Is that they're chasing a Arab that is done something, and they wind up at a farm, and it's a bunch of women outside the farm, and they're like, we're looking for this guy, are you hiding him? And they're like, they send everybody into the house, and then they set the roof on fire, and they wait for people to start running out so they can see, is somebody hiding in the house that they didn't know about? And yes, there is. So I dug that. And then for the entertainment, I gave it a 6. I was thoroughly engaged. It's just, like I said, it lacked in the action, but in all other respects, this is a fine film. By all means, watch it. So for me, I gave it an 18. So that's it for Tom Hardy. Coming up next, our results. We're going to have to do some math on this one. Stay tuned.
Catch!
Mike is disappointed with me this week, but it is what it is, and we reveal the scores on camera for a reason. So, Scott Adkins, Savage Dog, you scored it a 16. I scored it a 23, which gives us an average score of 19.5. And then for Tom Hardy, Deserter, Legion of Honor, you scored it a 17. I scored it an 18. That gives us an average score of 17.5. So Scott Adkins is our winner. Moving on to the second round. Tom Hardy, Action Bowl of Shame, sorry.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
While I think your scores are grossly inaccurate, the silver lining is I know Scott Adkins has got more entertaining films in the jar to watch. So there's the the silver lining.
Yeah,
of this.
yeah,
So I'm hoping he redeems himself in whatever we draw next for him.
Absolutely.
And that's about as nice as I can be with this shit.
I'm
fucking pissed off at these scores.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I'm going to tell you this right now. Knowing what Tom Hardy has in the jar, if we had drawn any other film, it would have been a stomp. It would have been an absolute blowout because I know that Warrior is in there, and I know that I think Fury Road is in there. There's a bunch of really great action films in
I
that
still
jar.
think I would have scored them in the 20s though to overcome Savage Dog. So
well,
I mean, again, I know you love, Mad Max and all that stuff, but we've talked about that movie
You're
before,
absolutely
and so
well,
we'll see.
I'm just gonna hand this one to you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that Tom.
No,
we hardly knew you.
no, shut up. You don't get to send them out.
Okay.
You don't get to send them out. Okay. No, Tom, you deserve better, my friend, but it is what it is.
So that's the results for week 6. Coming up next, our drawing for week 7. Stay tuned. So week 7 of the Action Bowl, bringing out the classics. Tyrone Power is facing off against Jean Reno. I will be drawing for Tyrone Power. Mike will be drawing for Jean Reno. Let's see what films are coming in.
All right, Mr. Tyrone Power, what we got going on?
Honestly, it's Tyrone Power. I don't know that there's a bad movie in here, even though we try to do 3 good, 3 bad. I got the one I want. All right. Tyrone Power is going to be represented by Jesse James.
Did Tyrone Power do a lot of westerns?
I don't think he did a lot. He did a lot more swashbucklers than westerns, but I know that, you know what, if John Ford comes along and says, hey, I'm making a western, you go, okay. So, I'm pretty sure that this is a John Ford directed film. It's also Tyrone Power. I mean, I can't tell you I've ever seen a Tyrone Power film that I was kind of like, that could have been better. Just
I can't. Razor's Edge.
Oh.
So, but now he acts the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't my brand of movie.
I completely get it, but it's one of my favorite films of all time. So, drawing for Jean Reno.
Is Godzilla in this fucking pile of shit?
Yes, it is.
Well, we didn't get that. We got Crimson Rivers. Well, I couldn't pull out a good movie for Jean Reno. At least I shouldn't say anything, but I just never heard of this movie, so I got zero expectations for this.
I got nothing. I'm just gonna say, you know what? It could be great. It could be terrible. We'll find out and let you know.
So that's week 6. Coming to week 7, we have Tyrone Power and Jesse James against Jean Reno in the Crimson Rivers.
We will catch you next time.